Welcome, Purple.
Hello, Jim, Rebsy, Bill.
We don't normally start with a betting organisation, but today we're going to.
We flagged this a while ago, as other media had been doing too, Jim, with that Gil McLachlan would end up at Tabcorp, and that's exactly where it has been officially announced today. And the wagering giant struggling like a lot of wagering giants at the moment. It's a big task. It's a massive task. It's a fractured industry. It's a fractured section of the industry, the wagering arm. It's plummeting with the numbers compared to the COVID years where it exploded out of nowhere. And if someone can do it, though, it is Gil. So, that's where he's ended up settling. He's taken his time to get there. Yes. He's had a few offers and a few other racing industry potential roles, which he said no to, but he's taken this one and, game on. So
he is a very passionate supporter of the racing industry. He has owned racehorses.
Very passionate punter.
I was going to say, I don't think I'm talking out of school to say he contributes to the
exactly.
turnover of such organisation.
He'd have a nice bonus bet system.
Bonus bet. What, do you reckon he's paying himself bonus bets?
No, but I bet you they pop up on his phone. Don't worry about that.
Well, it would be one way of keeping it off the books, Bill, wouldn't it? So.
Well, I don't know. But
we won't go down that path.
No, we shouldn't.
So is that for someone who's ignorant in this space, and you know I am, is that a good job?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he has the passion, and he does clearly have the passion for the job, it's a good paying job too, because the Racing Victoria chairman role, there would have been a remuneration, but it wouldn't have been a wage anywhere near the 1.5 that he's going to get from TAB, plus a lot of bonus that will come naturally as a part of that
But you've got to rebuild
package.
it. As you said, it's fractured.
It is. Well,
there's a lot of work to be done.
The whole model is broken. And again, he's a genius, and football has been the beneficiary of that genius for some years.
And he'll wheel and deal, and he's got some good connections there.
He will. Let's go with Dusty as a footy topic, Bill. In the positives, couldn't get the job done. We'll touch on Richmond in the negative component of this conversation as we do on a Monday soon. But the first goal of the game that he kicked, and then the post-match soaking up of the moment. Yeah. We haven't seen him do it, and we have said many times, I wish he did, because he's really good at it. He does have a sense of theatre, doesn't he? I mean, he did theatrically go to the centre of the ground. It felt like a farewell could be coming, and then he spoke to his good mate Jack Revolt post-match and was as open as he's been publicly.
I love the Tiger Army so much. I love the club so much. It means the absolute world to me. All the love I received this week has just meant the absolute world to me. So thank you everyone who sent me a message, social media, on the radio. I felt so loved this week, so I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate it.
You've given us an incredible ride so far, mate. Look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks against Freo.
Yeah, mate, freshen up for the bye and we'll see how we go.
Oh, see how we go.
Is he going to go on, isn't he? He's going to
I feel he will, Bill, yeah. I feel he will. Others have different views on that, even the little sort of ambiguous see how we go line right at the very end. I'll be keen, just as a consumer here, to see him back at training once they come back from their bye, just to make sure that he is going to keep his line there, that he will be back for that game against Fremantle.
92,000 people.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Was there? Ridiculous.
Really?
Are you saying they made that number up?
Damo?
I'm going with yes. Well, I don't see any reason they'd make it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you don't think it was? Clearly.
I had my counters and my feelers out. I don't know if it was
Were you
92
there?
there.
You had a way eye.
Yeah, you weren't even there.
I don't know if there was 92 there.
Okay, well, that's fair enough. It wouldn't be if it wasn't, Bill, it wouldn't be the first time that a crowd may have been inflated, but I didn't sense that on that occasion.
Which is a great crowd, by the way.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
And he's single-handedly added 35 to 42
Well, I had to, because Purple, it's 17 versus 12 or whatever it is. I mean, it's hardly a blockbuster in a real sense. So he has single-handedly, I reckon, pumped about 450 grand into Richmond's coffers.
Yeah.
Himself.
That much.
I reckon.
And Nathan Brown, being the resident financial guru on the football coverage of the Triple M operation, said that he should have got a cut of that, Jim. So,
Did Brownie understand that you're not allowed to do that?
no, he doesn't care about that. He said,
he
he brought the crowd along, and that's the way it should work. And in a commercial world, he's probably right.
Out of the raffle money?
I'll let you go down that path, Bill. Christian Petracca spoke on Nova Radio today, actually, about what he did endure last week. And we knew it was harrowing in the reporting of it in the weeks since the King's birthday clash, where he broke 4 ribs, had a very ruptured spleen, punctured lung and internal bleeding. And then today he revealed that.
I knew it was like he hit me good, to be honest. I didn't understand it. I didn't realise the severity of it until 2 a.m. when I was gassed up and they were doing surgery with my eyes open. So I didn't realise it was the severity of it until, early in the morning on Tuesday morning. I just thought it was a couple cracked ribs, which obviously is serious. But I thought I could go out and back and play. You're on adrenaline. You don't really know what's going on. And had I known now the severity of it, I probably obviously wouldn't have gone back out there. But at the time, I didn't know what the injury was like and the severity of it.
Eyes wide open on the surgery.
What does that mean?
It's not good.
Well, as he said, and
He wasn't under.
Was it the blood levels were concerning enough to then put him under, and it was just a gas assistance of the pain relief in that moment. So, yeah, it's harrowing, isn't it? And obviously even some other reflections he made about watching football on the weekend, and any time someone got hit, even in a small tackle, he'd wince. And it's a long road back for him now. Interestingly enough, too, the coverage of it too. He has used his own social media accounts twice last week to reveal aspects of what had happened, and the club played catch up on both of those moments. And then today he's used a radio outlet to reveal that. So there's an interesting media package playing out with Petracca himself, and he's a very dominant media person with his own account on Instagram, his own profile of a very significant
So it's a
media
lot more
nature.
serious than what we thought.
It
in
is,
a
Bill.
nutshell.
Yeah, look, we had known that, but to hear him say that himself, I mean, it's again, I feel even bad saying it, that it is, he's not guaranteed to play again. I mean, I hope he does. I hope round one next year he's out there, but he couldn't say with any conviction right now that that is indeed the case for next year anyway, round one. So, yeah, it's a worrying time. Get to some positives, Jim.
Yes.
Shall we?
Yes, please.
I love the big bags of goals, as I think we all do. And Joel Amartey's 9
How
for
good.
the Swans against Adelaide. It was as clean a 9 as you'd see.
So 10 kicks, 9 goals, 1.
9 goals, 1. And then I just want to have a bit of a negative in the positive of that, though, Jim. Man, you know really well. We all know well. John Longmire.
What did he take
Took
him off?
Come
5
on,
minutes
horse.
to go
Come
and
on,
wanted
horse.
to rest him.
Is that because back in the day when he was on 99, he only kicked 99, was
We
it?
kicked 2-8, didn't he, in the last
2-8,
game
he
to
did,
miss
yes.
that. Well,
Come
Horse,
on, Horse.
in
Come
that
on, Horse.
in that year, Bill, 1990, kicked a bag of 14 and a bag of 12, and his coach wasn't taking him off at that time, was he? So,
You know he's top 5 now in the Coleman with
I
31
saw
goals.
that, No, they're going really well. They were slow to start against the Crows, the Swans, but he was the match turner. Grundy just continued his extraordinarily good year. The usual suspects in Goulden and Heaney were really good as well. And
Grundy got 8 coaches' votes, Heaney 5, Goulden 5.
Yep. And they finished round 14. I know there's still a few buys to flush through the system, but 3 matches clear of second spot and 40% ahead of second spot.
So 4, Richie.
Yeah,
3.5.
three 12 premiership points and 40% more than the second
A
place
little break
team on the
because
line.
I
Got a
reckon
positive.
you'll keep going with the positives. There were that many across the weekend.
Josh Dunkley.
All right, we'll
That's
get
a positive.
We'll get to that next. So, Purple. I know you're going to talk North Melbourne in a minute and Collingwood. I didn't see the game, but I obviously saw the non-paid 50 at the end. And I'm now reading Laura Kane, who I absolutely love, but she's come out and said, because the umpire made an error, he didn't make an error. Are you being serious? That is a laughable
I
explanation.
made sure I read that before I came in here today, and I thought we're not going to go there today because it's just more confusing than to say it was wrong that
we
he
did the
wasn't
wrong
given
thing.
50. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
No, people need to go and have a look at that explanation, Jim. Let's bang through some more positives. Let's go Bobby Hill from that particular game.
Jeez, that's a
5
big
goals.
grab. I'd never thought that Jamie Elliott's could be usurped.
It's
this
in
year.
the same conversation.
It's close.
I've still got Elliott.
Jeez, that's a great
just.
grab.
Have you?
Yeah, we on Access All Areas today, we ran them together and they both hit the ball at the highest point. And I've got Elliott, for what it's worth, just a
One of the
margin ahead.
angles is really good at Bobby's. I reckon one's not as great and the other angle's better.
Yeah,
So.
I feel the mark he took to actually win the game, where side bottom got it back and kicked it to him. I thought that degree of difficulty was even harder
Against
than the
Archer,
one.
both of them going at
Yeah,
it.
and it was a tough mark, and then he had to go. It was only 15 out, but had to go back and kick it. But that was his 5th. That put him in front. Just you need to get your head around this.
It was a great game, by the way.
It was.
Hangers, great goals, umpiring decisions.
So
had it all.
65 times Craig McRae's coached Collingwood from the start of 2022 to now.
Right.
30 of those 65 games have been decided by 12 points or less.
That's unbelievable.
So nearly half. And then of those 30, he's won 24.
24.
Lost 4 and drawn 2. But it's just get your head around all of that. And
it's amazing.
yeah, they found another way. Dacos was the recipient of in fact, let's go there now. Let's go there now with Alistair Clarkson explaining the decision to sub out of the game. A man who'd shut down Nick Dacos impossibly to that point. Will Phillips.
doing a good job, but we had the freshness of the sub, and we were starting to fatigue a little bit, and we just thought the freshness of the sub, Liam Shields, going to try and finish that job off. When you don't win, you sit there and say, "Oh, geez, was that pivotal?" I don't think it was pivotal in terms of the final result, but yeah, you take some punts with the sub sometimes, and we just thought the fresh legs would help us in the last part of the game.
No, it wasn't pivotal. Dacos just came and took the game over, and they retrieved a 54.9 goal deficit, Jim.
He did have 8 in the third quarter, Nick Dacos.
Yeah, and then a couple more in the...
We had 10 in the last.
Yeah.
Josh Dunkley, by the way, can I jump in?
You
Who
go.
tipped on Friday with us, Jimmy Boy, tipped the winner of the Stradbroke, Stiffy Magnetica.
Steffi,
$15. $15 it paid, so well done, Josh Dunkley.
Yes.
Well done, Josh Dunkley, and well done to Josh Dunkley's former teammate in Marcus Bontempelli for yet again another best of field effort.
And he was crook.
He was crook. He kicked 3 goals. He may have kicked goal of the year. You called that beautifully for the M's, Jim.
Incredible game of football he put together.
He was dominant, just a reassuring presence as he has been for 11 seasons of football already.
I loved Cody Waitman's quote too. Did you see that? He's just built differently.
Yeah, he did.
He is.
He's what he said.
No doubt about it.
He was good too to come back. He provided the spark again. Joe Daniher, I want to give a bit of a shout out to. 5 goals, 12 marks against St Kilda. The second consecutive week, one of their 2 key forwards got involved in a very, very meaningful way. Bill, it was Eric Hipwood, the previous match. Mabior Chol, I loved his game. I've loved his season.
Yes.
Now, there may have been better players on the ground than Mabior Chol for Hawthorn against Richmond.
James Sicily.
He was
Make sure
amazing.
you pump him up.
I always do.
You never do. I've never heard you say his name. Never.
When
He's
did you
a
listen?
star.
You an idiot.
Good.
He
Well
was a
said,
star.
Damo. You should
He
say
was
it
a
more
star.
often.
He
He is
controlled
an
the game down back as he has
did.
done regularly. I
Exactly.
thought Newcombe was really good too, Bill, in that game.
Yes.
Josh Weddle's playing a beautiful role alongside Sicily coming out of the back line. They were really good again, and I think their final stream is well and truly in line. Josh Kelly returned to GWS yesterday. Just a point of difference, a serious point of difference for GWS.
What a
And
beautiful
when he's
looking footballer he is too,
Yeah.
Josh Kelly. He moves beautifully.
when he's there, their problems don't exist.
Yeah, a bit like Will Day for Hawthorn.
I
He
just
adds
reckon it's
a
very similar,
dimension.
Jim. I reckon it's very, very
that's
similar.
right.
He just strolled back into that team yesterday after 4 weeks out, and they just look like the team that lost the prelim final by 1 point
Reminds
last
me of
year.
Wellesley. Remember when Daniel Wells
Yeah.
was at his best? Did that beautiful movement. Magnificent kick.
8 votes he got. Toby Bedford, who tagged, got 10 votes.
Zach
How good's
Butters.
that?
Yep.
Tag Zach Butters.
Yep. We'll get on to
Isaac
this.
still leads the coaches' votes, Jimmy Boy, 85. Nick Dacos, 74.
Right.
Yep, and Bontempelli surging as well. We touched on a negative there with the North aspect of the Collingwood game. We'll move on to Port Adelaide, who lost to Josh Kelly's team, GWS, yesterday. They chose to leave Charlie Dixon and Jeremy Finlayson out of the team, so it was a choice that they made, and they weren't good. Butters obviously was shut out of the game. Rosie wasn't as effective as he would like to be, and often is. They just meandered through that game and weren't a match when the moments were at their hottest. Fremantle equally disappointing.
Yeah, they were horrible.
Putting them back in the do not trust them category after what they dished up against the
They
Western
were
Bulldogs.
poxy.
They got a bit cosy and a bit comfortable, Jim. 92 points their previous match win against Melbourne up there in Alice Springs, had the bye and then could not deliver against the Bulldogs. The Crows were okay early. They tried something different. They tried a bit of 2023 style of football where they were a heavily scoring team and an exciting team to watch. That's just not sustainable with where they're at the moment. So they've only got the 4.5 wins, Bill, out of the 14 matches to this point of the season. The Sydney Swans destroyed them, and Richmond are just out of its depth when it comes to any form of big game occasion now, as it was on Saturday when Dusty had his 300th game at the MCG on Saturday afternoon. It just wasn't a spectacle befitting that occasion in the end because of his team's poor form. And St Kilda, just one of the losers out of the weekend, at least they had a crack. They got to 106 points on the scoreboard. They got back to within 7 points. Late before a 50-metre penalty was paid against Marcus Windhager, as it wasn't against the Collingwood players yesterday. But it was winnable, and that will be the lament, I think, of Ross Lyon and the Saints, that they could have made it 3 in a row against Brisbane Lions.
Right.
Wrap that up beautiful.
Nice. Just bundled it up
I
perfectly.
like that. Put a
Very
bow on
good.
it, and you've sent it on.
Off you go.
That's
Nicely
it.
done.
And nicely positive, mainly. I just
Mate,
just
lots
ticked
of
off on the
positives.
negatives.
James Sicily. Have a look at him. Not a bad player. Give him something, Damien. James Sicily.
Well done, Purple.